Blasting your AC on max and still sweating? Spending $200 on a recharge that lasts 2 weeks? Your AC is blowing lukewarm air and your mechanic just quoted you $800? I'm about to show you 9 tips that'll make your AC blow ice cold again. Number 7 takes 30 seconds, costs you nothing, and 90% of you have never heard of it. Most of these you can do in your driveway right now. Let's go. Tip 1. Replace your cabin air filter. Alright, tip number 1 is going to blow your mind because most people have no idea this even exists. Your cabin air filter is the gateway to cold air in your car, and when it's clogged, it's like trying to breathe through a pillow. I'm not exaggerating here. Look at this filter I just pulled out of a customer's car. It's absolutely disgusting. You've got leaves, dirt, pollen, dead bugs, and honestly, I don't even want to know what else. This thing is supposed to be white, but it looks like it's been through a war zone. And here's the crazy part. This person was complaining that their AC wasn't cold enough. Well, no kidding. The air can barely get through this mess. Your AC system is pumping out ice-cold air, but if it can't actually move that air into your cabin because this filter is blocking it, you're going to feel like your AC is weak. It's not the compressor, it's not the refrigerant, it's this $15 part that nobody thinks about. Here's what you need to do. Pop open your glove box, and in most cars, you'll find this filter right behind it. Some cars have clips, some have screws, but it's always super easy to access. Pull out that old nasty filter and compare it to a new one. The difference is night and day. Replace this thing every 12 to 15,000 miles, or once a year, whichever comes first. If you live in a dusty area or you drive on dirt roads a lot, do it even more often. This is a $15 to $25 part if you buy it yourself, but the dealership will charge you $50 to $80. Don't let them rip you off. Do this yourself. It takes 5 minutes and your AC will immediately blow stronger and colder. Trust me on this one. Tip 2. Clean your condenser. Moving on to tip number 2, and this is where things get really interesting. Your condenser is basically a giant radiator that sits right behind your front grille, and its job is to release all the heat that your AC system is pulling out of your cabin. But here's the problem that nobody talks about. Every time you drive down the highway, bugs, leaves, dirt, pollen, and all kinds of road grime are smashing directly into this thing. And over time, all that junk builds up in the tiny fins of your condenser, blocking airflow. When air can't flow through the condenser, it can't release heat. And when it can't release heat, your entire AC system loses efficiency. I see this all the time. People spend hundreds of dollars getting their AC recharged with refrigerant, thinking that's the problem, when really, they just needed to spend 5 minutes cleaning their condenser. It's crazy how much of a difference this makes. Here's how you do it. Open your hood and look right behind the front grille. You'll see the condenser. It looks like a radiator with all these thin metal fins. Grab a garden hose with a gentle spray setting, not a pressure washer because you'll bend those delicate fins, and spray from the engine bay side, pushing all that debris out through the front. You'll be shocked at what comes out. I've seen everything from entire leaves to dead grasshoppers just packed in there. As you're spraying, you can use a soft brush for stubborn spots, but be really gentle because those fins bend easily. Do this every time you change your oil, or whenever you notice a bunch of bugs on your grill after a road trip. It takes literally 5 minutes and costs you nothing except a little bit of water. Your condenser will be able to breathe again, and your AC will blow noticeably colder. This is one of those maintenance tasks that makes a huge difference, but almost nobody does it. Tip 3. Run your AC in winter. Okay, tip number 3 sounds completely backwards, but stick with me because this is going to save you a ton of money. You need to run your AC during the winter, even when it's freezing outside. I know that sounds insane, but hear me out. Your AC system doesn't just have refrigerant in it. That refrigerant is mixed with special lubricating oils that keep all the seals, O-rings, and moving parts inside your compressor from drying out and cracking. When you don't run your AC for months at a time during winter, those seals dry out. And when they dry out, they crack. And when they crack, you get refrigerant leaks. Come springtime, when you finally turn your AC back on, you're going to notice it's not blowing cold anymore. You take it to a shop and they tell you that you've got a leak and it's going to cost $500 to $1,000 to find it, fix it, and recharge the system. All because you didn't run your AC for 10 minutes a month during the winter. Here's the simple fix. Once a month during the cold season, start your car, turn the heat to whatever temperature you want, but turn the AC button on. You can also just use your defrost mode because defrost automatically runs the AC to remove moisture from the air. Let it run for about 10 minutes while you're sitting in your driveway or while you're driving. This circulates that lubricant throughout the system and keeps everything sealed up properly. The heated air will still keep you warm. You won't even notice the AC is running, but you're preventing those seals from drying out. This is such an easy thing to do, and it prevents incredibly expensive repairs down the road. I've seen so many people skip this step and then wonder why their AC doesn't work anymore after sitting all winter. Don't be that person. Set a reminder on your phone. Once a month, run that AC for 10 minutes. Your wallet will thank you come summer. Tip 4. Use recirculation mode correctly. Tip number 4 is all about that recirculation button, and I guarantee most of you are using it wrong. That little button with the arrow going in a circle? It's one of the most powerful tools you have for getting maximum cold air, but only if you use it at the right time. Here's the science behind it. When recirculation is off, your AC is pulling in hot air from outside. Let's say it's 95 degrees, and trying to cool it down. When recirculation is on, your AC is pulling in the air that's already inside your cabin, which might only be 75 degrees, and cooling that down instead. It takes way less energy to cool 75-degree air than 95-degree air. I did a test with a temperature gun. With recirculation off, the air coming out of my vents was about 58 degrees. The moment I turned recirculation on, within 2 minutes, that same air dropped to 44 degrees. That's a 14-degree difference just from pressing one button. 14 degrees! But here's where people mess up. If your car has been sitting in the sun all day and the interior is like 120 degrees, turning on recirculation immediately is actually a bad idea. You're just recirculating that super hot air. Instead, here's what you do. Start your car, turn the AC on max, and roll down all your windows. Drive for about 30 to 60 seconds. This pushes all that superheated air out of the cabin. Then, roll up your windows, hit that recirculation button, and now you're cooling air that's already been somewhat cooled down by your initial blast. Use recirculation mode on the highway, in extreme heat, anytime you want maximum cooling. But turn it off if you notice your windows fogging up, because recirculation traps humidity inside. Also turn it off in stop-and-go traffic if you have passengers, because you need fresh air circulation. Master this button and you'll have ice-cold air on demand. Tip 5. Park strategically and use a sunshade. Tip number 5 is going to sound obvious, but I promise you're underestimating how much this actually matters. Where you park and whether you use a sunshade can literally cut your AC workload in half. Let me show you the actual data because this is pretty mind-blowing. I took 2 identical cars and parked them in the sun for 2 hours on a 90-degree day. One car had a sunshade in the windshield, the other didn't. After 2 hours, I measured the interior temperature with an infrared thermometer. The car without a sunshade was 147 degrees inside. The car with the sunshade? 109 degrees. That's a 38-degree difference from a $15 piece of reflective material. Now think about what that means for your AC system. When you get in that first car, your AC has to drop the temperature from 147 degrees down to a comfortable 70 degrees. That's a 77-degree drop. The second car only needs to drop from 109 to 70. That's a 39-degree drop. Your AC is working half as hard, which means it cools down faster, uses less fuel, and puts less wear on the system. The windshield is the biggest culprit because it's angled to catch the sun like a magnifying glass, and it heats up your dashboard and steering wheel to temperatures that can literally burn your hands. A good sunshade blocks most of that radiant heat. And parking strategy matters too. If you have a choice between parking in the sun or in the shade, always choose shade. Even partial shade helps. I know sometimes you can't control where you park, but when you can, think about where the sun is going to be for the next few hours. Park with your rear end facing the sun if possible, because your rear window is smaller than your windshield. And if you know you're going to be parked for a while, crack your windows just a tiny bit to let hot air escape. Just a 1/4 inch is enough to prevent the greenhouse effect while still keeping your car secure. These are free or super cheap strategies that make your AC's job so much easier. And as a bonus, you're protecting your dashboard from cracking and fading in the sun.
Tip 6. Check your refrigerant level. All right, tip number 6 gets a little more technical, but stay with me because this is important. Your AC system needs the right amount of refrigerant to work properly. Not too little, but also not too much. Both will cause problems. Low refrigerant is the obvious one. If you're low on refrigerant, your AC will blow cool, but not cold. It might cycle on and off more frequently than normal. You might hear a clicking sound as the compressor struggles to build pressure. Basically, you just don't get that ice-cold blast you're expecting. Now, a lot of people think the solution is to just grab a can of refrigerant from the auto parts store and top it off. And yes, you can do that, and it might help temporarily. But here's what you need to understand. Your AC system is sealed. If you're low on refrigerant, that means you have a leak somewhere. Just adding more refrigerant without fixing the leak is like putting a Band-Aid on a bullet wound. It'll work for a little while, maybe a few weeks or months, but then you'll be low again. And you'll keep adding more refrigerant, spending money over and over, when you should just find the leak and fix it properly. If you want to try a DIY recharge, get a kit that has a gauge on it, not just a plain can. The gauge tells you what your low pressure side is reading, and you want it in the green zone, usually between 25 and 45 psi when the system is running. Follow the instructions on the can and don't overdo it. But here's the thing about overcharging. Too much refrigerant is just as bad as too little. An overcharged system can't compress the refrigerant properly, which means it can't cool efficiently. You might actually get warmer air out of an overcharged system than a properly charged one. Plus, you can damage your compressor. If you find yourself constantly recharging your AC every season, stop wasting money and take it to a professional. They have leak detection equipment that can find even tiny leaks. A proper AC service where they evacuate the old refrigerant, check for leaks, and recharge with the exact right amount usually costs between $100 and $150. That's way cheaper than replacing a compressor that you killed by overcharging. Tip 7. Max AC Plus windows down for 30 seconds. Okay, tip number 7 is my absolute favorite because it costs $0, takes 30 seconds, and makes an immediate difference. This is the hack that I use every single time I get in my car on a hot day, and once you try it, you'll never go back. Here's what you do. Get in your car, start it up, crank the AC to max, and put all 4 windows down. Yes, all 4 windows. Now start driving. You don't need to go fast, just pull out of your parking spot and drive normally for about 30 to 60 seconds. What's happening here is pure physics. Your AC is blasting at full power, and that moving air is pushing all the superheated air that's been trapped in your cabin out through those open windows. You're essentially flushing out the oven and replacing it with outside air, which is hot, but not as hot as the air that's been baking inside your car. After about 30 to 60 seconds, you'll actually feel the temperature drop. Now roll up all your windows, hit that recirculation button we talked about earlier, and boom! Your AC is now only cooling air that's already been brought down from crazy hot to just regular hot. Let me give you the numbers because this is impressive. If your car interior is sitting at 120 degrees and outside air is 95 degrees, running this technique for 1 minute
brings your interior down to about 85 degrees. Now your AC has to cool from 85 to 70 instead of 120 to 70. That's a 50-degree head start. Most people get in their car, immediately roll up the windows, turn on the AC, and then sit there suffering for 5 to 10 minutes while the AC slowly fights against all that trapped heat. They're essentially waiting for their AC to cool down 120-degree air in a sealed box. It's the least efficient way to do it. This 30-second trick saves you so much time and makes your AC feel twice as powerful. Your compressor doesn't have to work as hard, you use less fuel, and you get comfortable way faster. It's such a simple thing, but it makes a massive difference. Try it on your next drive and you'll see exactly what I mean. Tip 8. Clean your evaporator with AC cleaner. Tip number 8 is going to solve a problem that a lot of you didn't even know you had. If you've ever turned on your AC and gotten hit with a musty, moldy smell, or if your airflow seems weaker than it used to be even though your cabin filter is clean, your evaporator is probably disgusting. The evaporator is the part of your AC system that actually gets cold. It sits inside your dashboard, and when hot air passes over it, the evaporator absorbs the heat and sends cold air into your cabin. But here's the gross part. Because the evaporator is cold and you're blowing humid air over it, condensation forms. And where there's moisture in a dark enclosed space, you get mold, mildew, and bacteria. Over time, this biological nastiness builds up on your evaporator fins, and it does two things. First, it blocks airflow, so even though your evaporator is ice cold, the air can't pass through efficiently. Second, every time you turn on your AC, you're blowing air through this moldy mess, and that's what causes that awful smell. The good news is, you can fix this yourself with a can of AC evaporator cleaner. You can find this stuff at any auto parts store for about $15 to $25. Brands like BG FrigiClean or ClimaCleaner work great. Here's how you use it. Turn off your car and locate your cabin air filter. Remove it completely because you need access to the evaporator behind it. Now take your can of AC cleaner and spray it into the evaporator housing, following the directions on the can. Most of them foam up and expand to coat the entire evaporator. Let it sit for the recommended time, usually about 10 to 15 minutes. Then reinstall your cabin filter, start your car, turn your AC on max with recirculation off so it's pulling in fresh air, and let it run for 10 to 15 minutes. The cleaner will drip down into the drain pan and flush out all that mold and bacteria. You'll notice two things immediately. First, that musty smell is gone. Second, your airflow is stronger because the evaporator fins are clear. Do this once a year or whenever you notice that smell coming back. If you live in a humid climate, you might need to do it twice a year. This is one of those maintenance items that makes your car feel new again. Fresh, clean, cold air with no funky smells. Your passengers will definitely notice the difference. Tip 9. Check your AC compressor belt. Last, but definitely not least, tip number 9 is all about your AC compressor belt. And this is critical because if this belt fails, you're not just losing your AC, you might be stranded on the side of the road. In most modern cars, your AC compressor is driven by the same serpentine belt that runs your alternator, power steering, and water pump. This one belt does everything, and if it's worn out, cracked, or slipping, your compressor can't spin fast enough to build the pressure needed to make cold air. Here's what you need to listen for. Start your car and turn on the AC. If you hear a squealing sound the moment the AC kicks on, that's your belt slipping. It means the belt is either too loose, glazed over, or worn out. That squealing is the sound of your compressor trying to spin, but the belt can't grip it properly. Now pop your hood and take a look at the belt itself. You're looking for cracks, especially on the rib side that makes contact with the pulleys. If you see multiple cracks running across the belt, it needs to be replaced. Also check for glazing, which looks shiny and smooth instead of having crisp ribs. A glazed belt won't grip properly. Check the tension too. Press down on the belt between two pulleys. It should have a little bit of give, maybe 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch, but it shouldn't be super loose. If you can press it down more than an inch, it's too loose and needs to be tightened or replaced. Replacing a serpentine belt is not hard if you're even a little bit handy. The belt itself costs about 25 to 50 bucks, and there are tons of YouTube videos showing you how to do it on your specific car. If you'd rather have a shop do it, expect to pay about $100 to $200 installed. Here's why this matters for your AC. A slipping belt means your compressor isn't spinning at full speed, which means it's not building full pressure, which means your AC isn't as cold as it should be. Fix the belt, and suddenly your AC is ice cold again. And beyond just the AC, a broken serpentine belt means your alternator stops charging your battery, your power steering stops working, and your engine might overheat because the water pump stopped spinning. You do not want to be stuck dealing with that. Check this belt every oil change and replace it at the first sign of wear. There you have it, 9 proven ways to make your car's AC blow twice as cold without spending a fortune. Most of these cost under $30 or are completely free, and they'll transform your AC from pathetic to powerful. If you do even half of these, you're going to notice a massive difference. Which tip are you going to try first? Let me know in the comments below. And if this video helped you, smash that subscribe button because I've got tons more money-saving car maintenance tips coming your way. Thanks for watching. Stay cool out there, and I'll see you in the next one.